Hey, what's going on out there? I would like to welcome every single one of you to Water Your Soil. So before I get into the video, if you're new here, I have two rules over at this channel. The first rule is for you to always use your own discretion when it comes to credit cards and credit scores. The second rule is for you to always verify whatever it is you learn on this channel, another channel, or anywhere. That should be a rule of life. So getting into the video, I'm going to share a story that happened recently, actually this past week or so, where my credit score dropped 16 points. And I want you to watch this video in full because I'm going to explain to you how you all can be making a mistake, the same mistake that I made, that can cause your score to drop. Now, the interesting thing about this story that I'm going to tell is the thing that caused my score to drop happened years ago. It's out of sight, out of mind, but yet still to this day is having an impact on my credit score in 2024. So to get on to the topic, my credit score with Experian prior to the past week or so was an 808. And it was in what Experian explains as the exceptional range. Having a score of 800 or better puts you in the exceptional range. And when you're in that 800 range, you pretty much have things working well for you, meaning it's very likely that you'll get approved for a loan, for credit cards, for the best interest rates, for the best APRs, whatever it may be. It puts you in a good spot. However, when you fall out of that range, your chance is lower. Now, recently, my credit score dropped 16 points. And I got the email from Experian and it said, your credit score decreased. And I'm like, hey, I wasn't really alarmed because sometimes my credit score increases and sometimes it decreases. That's what credit scores do. They go up and down depending on what is going on with your credit report. So I wasn't really too concerned. But of course, since it is my credit score, I logged on to the Experian and went in to see why the decrease, as I usually do. So I went into Experian and I saw my score decrease 16 points, and instantly I became alarmed. I'm like, why is my score decreasing 16 points? So I went and I got my credit report, and I'm just thinking, and I'm looking, and everything looks normal. Everything looks the same. No new hard inquiries. No one is using my account for anything. So I was alarmed. I was like, did they change the algorithm of how they go about credit scores for Experian? Because I was a little thrown off. Normally, your score wouldn't just drop 16 points like that out of nowhere. But this is also why I always tell people to look at their credit report and compare their credit report to previous times. And it's more than likely you'll see something that's different that caused your score to drop that way. So I did some thinking. I was like, why would my score drop 16 points? And then a light bulb went off because I went and I looked at my Equifax credit score and I noticed my Equifax credit score went up. It went up to an 817. But there was one big difference between the Equifax credit score and the Experian credit score, and that was the old Best Buy account that I had. And anyone who's a subscriber of this channel, you should know about my story with the Best Buy credit card. So for those of you who are not, and you're wondering what I'm talking about, I had a Best Buy credit card that I opened back in 2006. That card got closed out in 2014. And the reason why it got closed out is because I stopped using it. And this is why I always tell you all to keep your cards active. Even if you have to go and buy bubble gum with it or go to the dollar store and buy something that costs $1. No matter what you do, keep the card open and active. I don't ever tell people to close out a card. And there's a reason for that I'll explain later in the video, but I always tell people to keep the cards open. So back in 2014, when they closed the card out for lack of usage, my score dropped. And this was in the time where I needed my credit score. So you figure that was the only credit card that I had. It was a store credit card, as I stated, Best Buy, and it dropped off my credit report. So then I no longer had a card on my account. Now, of course, I went and got the secure card with Discover and my bank, but that's a whole nother story. But nonetheless, I ended up having my score drop in 2014 because of the Best Buy credit card. Fast forward all the way to 2024, that card impacted my credit score by 16 points. And I'm going to explain to you all how. So in 2014, of course, like I stated, the card closed, but it stayed on my credit report. It stayed on there as closed. So The years went by from 2014 all the way to 2024, and it was still on my credit report, and it was showing as closed, but it was also helping my credit age. You figure 2006 to 2024, that's a good 17 and a half years, close to 18 years of credit age that was helping my credit report. Now, a lot of you might not understand that. You probably say, well, if I closed it, how was it still on my credit report? Well, it was still showing as a card that I had and as an account that I had, even though it was closed. So it was still helping my credit age in some form or fashion. But a week or so ago, it fell off completely. It's no longer showing on my Experian credit report, and it's no longer showing as a closed account. It just doesn't exist. And all of those years, that 17 and a half years, is gone. So that explained the 16-point drop. And this is why I always tell you all, like I stated earlier, keep those accounts open. I know a lot of content creators, they tell you all, hey, close an account. After you get your intro bonus, close the account. If it's not doing this or that for you, close the account. But I want to say something to you all, because a lot of you think this is a game, but it's serious because it's pertaining to you and your life. When it comes to content creation, if you do something with your credit report or your credit score, and this is why I always tell you all to use your own discretion. If I go and I tell you to close out a credit card account, guess who's impacted by that? Am I impacted? No, I'm not. It's you. So if you go and you close out your credit card account and your score drops 30 points because so-and-so content creator told you to do it, it impacts you. It doesn't impact the content creator. It's easy to just go and make videos and tell you all, hey, if this card isn't working, close out this account or close out that account. But ultimately, in the end, you, the viewer, the consumer of the content, are the ones who are impacted by this. So you want to think about that. Like, yeah, closing out a card, you may say, hey, I don't need it, or you may not be concerned about your credit report today, but look at this. It's 10 years later from when my card got closed out, and I didn't even close it out. The bank did for my lack of usage, but it's 17 and a half years later, and the fact that the account got closed out impacted my credit score, 16 points. Now imagine if I wasn't in the 800s and if I was at a 650 or a 620 and my score went from a 620 to a 604, or maybe it would have dropped more points than that because maybe the other accounts that I have on my credit report aren't strong enough to hold my score to not drop 16 points. Maybe it drops 20 or 30 or 40. You never know how many points that will cause your score to drop off. I always say no one can predict that. Only the credit bureaus know how much your score will drop from that because it depends on your credit report. But this is why I tell you all to use your own discretion. Keep those cards active and open. If you have to spend a little amount of money on them on a month-to-month basis, that's cool because it keeps the card open, which in return helps your credit age. I don't think a lot of you understand how important credit age is and how much it impacts your score. The people with the highest credit reports in the U.S. are the silent generation, followed by the baby boomers, followed by Generation X, followed by millennials. You know why it works like that? Because the older generations usually have their accounts for a longer time, and also they're able to have a longer credit age. Credit age is so important and so valuable. So a lot of you could come by and you could argue, oh, I close out my cards. I don't do this. I do that. That's fine. But guess what? As these years go on, credit age goes on, and keeping the accounts open and active does more wonders for you than it hurts you. I know a lot of you may say, well, I'm not getting enough out of the card, but still, you never know when you'll need your credit score in the future. So I just wanted to share this information with you all. I said I really wouldn't be talking about my credit score anymore on here, but I wanted to share that because I think it's a teaching moment. It's important to watch your credit age because credit age matters. Look at this. It's 2024. From a card that I opened up in 2006 and it closed in 2014, and it still impacted me. You see how that works? But anyways, if you're new here, this is Water Your Soil. If you're feeling the vibe, be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on all notifications. That way you don't miss a future video. Also, this goes to every single one of you watching right now. Be sure to hit the like button. That goes for my subscribers included. Hit the like button. It literally takes seconds. If you're logged in on a tablet, your phone, watching on TV, whatever it may be, and you're logged in, hit the like button. It literally takes a second. It doesn't cost any money. It's free to hit the like button. That's your way of showing support. If you're subscribed to this channel, you should definitely be hitting the like button because it literally takes a second. But anyways, I wanted to share this with you all. Be mindful of your credit card accounts and be mindful of whether or not you're closing out those accounts. But anyways, this is Warrior Soil. I appreciate you all, and I'm out. Wait. Before you leave, be sure to check out the description box below. That way you can have all the credit resources from Water Your Soil. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button as well, all right? In the description box below, I always tell people, check out the description box below for extra resources from Water Your Soil. Part of the description box also showcases my book that I have. I have a book. It's been out for a while now. It's been out for years. It's titled Strategies to Master Credit. The book is available. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes & Noble. Most online bookstores have the book. And the book is basically about how FICO credit scoring works. Once you understand how FICO credit scoring works, you're pretty much on your way to helping yourself build, develop, and maintain a good credit score. So check the book out whenever you get a chance.